So the second Friday that the gym is closed, and it just feels great because 4 p.m. hits and UPS picks up, then we can go home. I pick up my cold brew and it's awesome. So we got my Friday nights now, I got Saturday nights, Sundays, so got the whole weekend. It's just a lot better now. It's just more convenient. Can film more now, do a little bit more, different content, but gotta show you guys around a little bit more. All I showed you was my room so far, so I guess I'll show you the pool. It's got 2 grills right behind me. This is like the pool area then. So nice little pool out here. Pretty much whenever we come out here, we have it to ourselves, so I am gonna get as tan as possible. I'm not going to the tanning beds. I never go to tanning beds. I know Nick and Joe over here, they had memberships, but I'm just gonna sit out here every day, probably like 20 minutes, work on the old tan. But this is nice. This is why I love the apartment complexes around here, because you don't have to maintain the pool, they maintain it for you, and it's just like so convenient. So I talked about before I wanted to buy a house. Probably gonna hold off on that because there's like 4 or 5 apartment complexes right next to the warehouse. So heading into Austin now. Also got a volleyball court. Check this out. Never seen anyone use that. I probably will never use that, but pretty sweet pool setup. Good setup right here. But yeah, gonna head into Austin, and I think we're hitting up a brewery. All right, so we found our forklift for sale. This thing is old, man. All rusted. Should be listed for free. It's probably got some power though. So we're in downtown Austin right now. Just like driving through here, completely different vibe than Round Rock. Round Rock's more like families and stuff like that. This place is just, everywhere in the city is awesome here. So I gotta get a place here eventually. Once this 5-year lease is up, getting a condo in here. Sick shirt, man. Thanks. So went ahead and got 1 drink tonight. The way I'm gonna strategize alcohol into my diet, because I'm still gonna drink, on occasion once or twice a week. Usually, like today, had 2,600 calories going into the night. I knew I was just gonna have 1 beer, had 1 beer, especially because I was driving, so that was about 200 calories. And the way I'll do it, I went in with 70 fats, which I topped down on fats, topped down on proteins on day, had 200, so I had some like 50 grams of carbs left over going into that. So I made that up with carbs. I could either make it up with carbs or fat or a combination. I still want to hit my 200 grams of protein, but that's the way I'm going to do it with alcohol for now. And I will do a little bit of a splurge every once in a while. Like tomorrow, I'll go out and have some drinks, more than one. So the way I would do that, I would try to just eat, a lower amount of calories throughout the day, maybe like 1,600, 1,700. That's going a little low. But I'll also, drink diet soda and liquor or something like that. That's not going to be often because that's not optimal. It's not good for recovery, but I'm not going to limit myself. I'm still going to go out every once in a while, have a good time. But that's my whole thing with alcohol and dieting. If I'm not getting ready for a show, I'm still going to go out and not miss opportunities, especially in the city, especially in Austin. People come to town, so that's my take on it, but I'm gonna head to bed, so I'll see you guys in the morning. So the plan was to go into Austin all day and have like a great time, maybe get a pontoon boat, but it's like a hurricane out here right now. So I guess we're not gonna do that, change of plans. Quick physique update this morning. I have no clue what my weight is. I talked about this before. For some reason, when I don't weigh myself, I lose weight faster. I think I just put too much stress on myself, because once I start weighing myself, I get like obsessed with it. I'll do it like 4 or 5 times a day. So just going off feel right now, staying at the same macros, feeling a lot leaner though. So gonna do a quick Q&A on top of that roof, but it'd be pretty tough to carry this camera and tripod. I don't have my backpack or my camera carrier, and I don't feel like breaking another camera, so I'm gonna keep it safe. Gonna do it down here. But yeah, quick business Q&A. Okay, so let's get to these questions. While I do these questions, I'm gonna put some training footage over, just going over what I did today back in biceps. Haven't taken a day off today for a while, and that's just because I feel so good. I think I've gone 10 straight days right now. And for this back workout, I think I did 5 or 6 exercises. Started out lately with my back workouts, my first 2 exercises have been the same. So pull-ups, 5 sets of 10 reps. Reverse lat pull downs is what I do second, and I do that for 4 sets of 12 reps. Then I'll usually go into more rows. I need a little more thickness, so I should probably put those first for now, but just loving this routine right now. So I did 1 arm rows with the barbell, then I did barbell rows, 4 sets of 10 reps, and then finished with the hammer strength underhand grip and did like 4 sets of that. Then I just did 2 exercises for biceps, each of those 4 sets, around 10 reps. I love doing the cable curls, always do those ones, and then every once in a while I'll do barbell curls. But starting with these questions. So you have future business plans outside of fitness and cold brew? I think this is a great question because I think it'd be a good idea to branch off and do something else. Not sure what that's gonna be yet. With the supplement company, what you could do is actually, I know some companies will surround their warehouses with actual like cash and carry stores. So like a little retail shop of 1,000 square feet, you can put your brand in there. You could even bring in other brands. So that's something we could consider. I don't know if Nick would want to do that. I don't know if it's worth it, but maybe in the future. Apparel side of the business, are we gonna do more with that? We're gonna bring in some more t-shirts, expand that a little bit. Not do a whole apparel line, but what we've noticed is people like getting like casual t-shirts from us. So something that's affordable, $19.99, just a nice t-shirt you could wear out or you could wear to the gym, not just specifically gym wear. So I want to do more of that, stuff that's affordable. So what made us want to create a business? Nick created the supplement business, and I know he started in college. Seemed crazy at the time. And then with the gym business, it was kind of just a good combination. Something good to have, you know, create content, have your own equipment and whatnot. We knew the supplement side of things is where kind of the money was and where we could, you know, grow it. The thing with supplements and e-commerce, it's like you don't know, there's no limit. There is a limit, but you could grow, you know, 100% year over year, whereas a gym, you kind of know how much you can grow because you're going to have a cap on memberships. You can only do so much with that space, that area. So that's why we're just pretty much the business side of things is the supplements now. We need the extra space. We need more industrial shelving in our warehouse. So that's we're bringing in the 5-pounders. I wouldn't be surprised if in a year this whole warehouse is just filled with industrial shelving and product. Future of Bear Gym. We're always going to have the equipment. We're always going to have the gym. It's great for seminars. It's going to be great for, you know, I think we could eventually have 20 plus employees. You see some of these supplement companies have, you know, around 20 to 40 employees. I think if we keep growing, we're going to keep, you know, expanding and bringing more employees in. It's a great way to recruit and hire people if you have a whole gym to yourself. So we're going to keep the equipment. So this was actually for Nick, but he's not here. But this person asked, why did Nick particularly choose me to take on operations? I think I have a good business background. The jobs I had before kind of carry into this, and I love logistics. I love warehousing. If I wasn't doing this, I honestly would want to work in a warehouse. I worked a 9 to 5 in a desk job before. I didn't really like that, and honestly, I think I'd rather be like an operations manager or just working in a warehouse, kind of being proactive. I just couldn't take my desk job anymore. So if I wasn't here, I'd probably be working in a warehouse somewhere else, just because that's honestly what I enjoy. I enjoy the logistics, the supply chain part of it. What's the biggest lesson I've learned from working with family? Do you guys ever disagree? Yeah, we disagree. We kind of stay out of each other's way. We have our own jobs. But I mean, there's going to be some arguments with family. I could imagine it would be really tough if you're in a fast-paced industry like the restaurant industry or something like that, where it just stress is high. With this, you can kind of do your own thing. You have your own jobs. But I could see, you know, being in a business with completely your family, your relatives, your cousins, especially, yeah, like a hospitality business, that would be really tough. I don't think we could do that. But with this type of business model and stuff, I think it's fine to do if you get along, if you have your own kind of strengths and weaknesses and you can delegate which tasks you do and they do, it's going to work out. What's the biggest goal for 2018? It's still 2017. We're hitting our goal for what we pretty much wanted to do 2017. Actually, we're probably exceeding our goal for 2017 because I remember talking before we were talking about doing maybe like a business series before he came back from Korea, and it was going to kind of like show the process and us making, you know, strides in the business and what we thought we could hit, and we've already surpassed that, and it's only like halfway through this year. So we're probably going to do double of what we thought we wanted to do, and from 2018 then we probably want to do at least double from that. So I think a good goal for us is just not just looking at revenue, but doubling, you know, certain parts of our business every year. So we always want to grow 100% year over year. What's the ultimate goal with BPN? Remain an online retailer or major stores? We're working on an in-store deal right now, which is a really good company to be in. They take their stuff serious. It would be a great store to get into because their distribution model, they have like a couple hundred stores and they're growing really fast. So if we got into, you know, some in-store deals like that, that'd be really good. But as far as the e-commerce world, we want to remain kind of like our exclusive brand on, you know, websites and stuff like that, and want to own that. What's our biggest competition? There's so many companies in this industry right now, so even though the industry's growing like crazy, there's a lot of competition out there. But competition helps. It's just, I think if you want to be in the supplement industry, you got to kind of differentiate yourselves. I think the YouTube channels help that, especially with Nick and the Army and the military following. That's definitely a big difference maker for BPN. Biggest struggle you face each day in BPN? A lot of people don't understand, I think, cash flow and just the importance of that. Especially growing a company organically. You know, we don't have investors or anything like that, so even if your company's growing, there's going to be struggles. You know, we probably saw it a couple months ago when we kept running out of stock when we saw our biggest kind of strides in growth. So we would bring the stock in, you know, whatever, 500 units of a product, it would sell out in a day. And then we were waiting another 3 or 4 weeks for more to come in, and it was just, that was so stressful at that time. But now we finally have it down pat. We're not running out of stock. We have our inventory control down, so that time was stressful though. That was when it was, so you're gonna have your kind of stressful moments, and it's just gonna get crazy once you really start to grow, I feel like. Preston, do you ever think about starting your own company or line? No, not right now. I don't know what's gonna be going on in 10 to 20 years, but it's like if you want one business to do really well, you really have to put, you know, you have to have different people doing different things. You can't just do everything yourself. You can, you know, handle all that stuff, but your business isn't gonna keep growing. You're eventually gonna have to delegate different tasks to different people, and they're gonna have their jobs. And I think a successful company, there just has to be employees that believe in the same thing, a good culture, everyone doing their job, and that's one of the most important things. Because people always bring it up about, you know, starting your own company and stuff like that, and if it was just me, I would have to do everything, and I could scale it a little bit, you know, maybe make a decent living and do that and grow to a certain point, but you're gonna eventually have to bring more people on, and that's why we have a good team right now to do that. So when we go through the pains of growing, we have a good team, we can handle it. It's not extremely stressful because everyone has their certain task at hand. But that's gonna be the video. I hope you guys enjoy this one. Going into Austin tonight, gonna have a few drinks. I'm doing like I talked about last night, where I won't eat as much and then just delegate some of those calories to alcohol. So I don't do this much, maybe like once every 2 months during a cut, but I still want to live, I still want to enjoy it. So I'll see you guys in the next video.